All right. I'm so sorry about that. I was trying to be lazy and I was trying to do it from my phone. I wasn't trying to fire up my PC. So that will cause a lot of headaches. So I apologize to Lurker, to Mark, to Bugs Bunny. I think that was the name. So I apologize to y'all. Like I said, I was trying to do it from my phone. So I am back now. So we're going to try this again. So what's up, Lurker? Like I said, I'm sorry about that. I was trying to do it from my phone and it didn't work out too well. So I apologize. So give me a minute. Let me let a couple more people get back into the room. I know I'm not going to have a big crowd, but So, but it's all good though. What's up, Tracy? All right, all right. So let me get started. So a lot of people don't understand me. What's up, Mark? You back. Let me say this right here. A lot of people don't understand that I don't believe everything that comes out of people's mouth until I see it with my own eyes. And I'm going to explain to you the reason why I don't believe everything that comes out of people's mouths. Because people misinterpret things, like this Black Lives Matter statement, mission statement. Yesterday when those guys were trying to tell me that, that statement was anti-family and it was just bad boogeyman type situation. And I knew it was BS. I knew it was BS when they were saying it. Because I know when people don't really understand something and they read something and they don't interpret it the right way, they're going to interpret the way they want to interpret it. And that's what people do. And that's what happened yesterday when people were telling me that mission statement is anti-family. Now, Steve, he sent me this video. And the video was of Marcellus Wallace. Marcellus is a football analyst who played 10 years in the NFL. And he was upset about that mission statement because when he read it, he thought it was anti-family also. Because he stated that he was married, he had kids, and that unit that he had built was was solid, and that's what he believed in. So, but when he went back and he took a lot of flack for it, he took a lot of flack because he didn't even understand it because of the way it was written. Now, Marcellus, he's a very intelligent black man. He went to an Ivy League school. So if he can make that mistake by misinterpreting that message, a lot of people can do that. But when I read that statement, when I read that part of the mission statement, basically what they were saying was it wasn't about being anti-family or anti-family unit or anti having two parents in the household. It was more or less like going back to the olden days when it took a village to raise the kids in the neighborhood. And that's what that was. That's all it was. That's basically what they were saying. They wanted to expand the family unit. Not only just make it about the two-parent household, but make it about the community, make it about the world, to help raise these kids, for these kids to have a better life. That's what it was about. What's up, me, Mug? And that's my whole thing about people. We need to stop misinterpreting things until you really fully read it and you can digest it and understand it. Don't judge it. And a lot of people get Black Lives Matter confused with this Marxist movement. And it's not like that. Y'all have to understand, Black Lives Matter is a political unit. Now, one thing I do disagree with Black Lives Matter on, that it really is not about Black lives per se, as in what's going on in the inner city with the violence. It's not about that. No, it's not about that at all. Black Lives Matter is more of a political unit. It's more about discriminations, injustices. That's what Black Lives Matter is all about. Racism. Want to be treated fairly. And it's very easy to get that misinterpreted, especially when you're talking about Black Lives. When it said Black Lives Matter, you would think that you were talking about the violence, the killing of Black people, period. No matter if they're a white man or a Black man. But it's not about that, though. Now, Black Lives Matter is a good group. A lot of people might disagree with me. It's a good group, but it just don't go far enough for me when it comes to protecting Black lives all the way around. It doesn't go far enough for me. Because we should be in that group, that foundation should be in the inner city trying to stop all this violence amongst us, as well as the police brutality. And I agree with you, Mug. I most definitely agree. We need to sweep around our own front door. We really do. We need to clean up our own neighborhoods. We need to take care of our own self. I agree with you 100%. What's up, Doug? I agree with you 100% on that. And that's my problem with Black Lives Matter, because we don't take care of our own front door. We don't get into the community and try to weed out a lot of this crap that's going on in our community. What's up, T? And that's something that we need to do. We need to handle our own business. Yes, we can protest police brutality, but we need to get into our own neighborhoods and help stop some of this killing of these young men. We need to stop that. And that's what gives Black lives a bad name, because they're not really fully embracing the lives part. When I look at LIVES, I don't just think about police brutality. I think about all the inner city killings that's going on. That's what I think about. That's the majority of the things that are hurting us. And that's crazy. Yeah, they do. They really do. Because that name do not represent everything that they stand for. Because it don't represent all the inner city violence. It don't represent that at all. It doesn't. And that's something we need to work on as a group. We need to work on trying to get things better. We need to work on our accountability. And that's another thing also. It's about accountability. It's something that really I've been focusing on for the last couple of weeks. Accountability. We need to hold ourselves accountable for all this dirt that we're doing in our communities. And that's what makes us look bad. Because we'll get out here and we'll march for police brutality, but we won't march to stop the violence in our neighborhoods. When people see that, they're like, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all sit here and march up and down the streets for days and days and days when the police officer kill one of us, but we can go out here and kill each other by the hundreds on a daily basis, and we don't care. We don't care. We don't care if we don't care if we live in the neighborhoods where they're selling drugs on the street corner and killing 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds being killed in the streets. We don't care about those babies. We don't march for that. We don't march for none of that. Baby get killed in Chicago, they'll cry about it 1 or 2 days, but do you see people marching in the streets? Nah, they don't march in the streets for that. Matter of fact, it's very hard to prosecute those guys. You know, and the reason why? Because we don't even want to snitch on them. Make that make sense. We'll march in the streets for months when a black man get killed by the cop. But when it comes to killing babies in the streets, we won't even snitch on the killer. That doesn't make sense, does it? And that's what makes us look crazy out in these streets. That's why we're looking crazy in these streets. That's why people look at us all funny, like, hold on. You got kids dying in the inner cities, and no one marches for those kids. No one. No one. Isn't that kind of backwards? Yeah, backwards, Doug. Isn't that backwards? Isn't that backwards? No one sees how backwards that is. No one sees how backwards that is. It seems like we cannot support both. We can't support what the cops are doing to us are wrong, which is most definitely wrong. But we can't support when those kids and those babies are being killed also. We can't. It seems like we can't walk and chew gum at the same time for whatever reason. I don't know why. And that's why you got all these right-wing groups who are speaking negative about Black Lives Matter because they see what we see. They see what we see. And my thing is this right here. If I was a white man looking from the outside in, I would see this, I would feel the same way. I would not understand. Because as a black man, I don't understand. And that's crazy. That's really crazy. Right, Lurker. On that part, Lurker, like I said, when it comes to the police brutality and the murders, I get that part. And like I said, that's a good start. It's a great start. It's a good point. But the problem is we have a bigger issue, though. And the bigger issue is us. It's us. We're the bigger issue. You know, you in Texas, right? And you seen what his name? Oh, Mo3. Like I said, I don't know these rappers' names, these new rappers' names. So y'all got to excuse me. When the guy got killed in Dallas, you know what I'm saying? The guy got killed in Atlanta, King Von. You know what I'm saying? We don't think about those deaths because it's so normal to us that we just let it slide. We just let it go. You know, and those are the ones we should be focused on because those are the ones we're killing each other at a higher rate than the police is killing us. And that's what we got to understand. Yes, what the police is doing is wrong, but they're not killing us as fast as we're killing each other. Why can't we focus on both? Why can't we do both? Yeah, we got a lot of work to do. We really do. Got a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. We need to really concentrate on our neighborhoods. We need to really concentrate on building ourselves. We really do. And that's all God. That is so true. Yeah, because it's like, meanwhile, some of the crimes that being committed in our neighborhoods is being done in broad daylight. Broad daylight, right in the open. You can have 20, 30 people outside witnessing these things, and everybody will close their eyes like they didn't see anything. Reprogramming? That is true, Lurker. A lot of reprogramming. And that's the whole thing about it. And we need to start with accountability. We need to start with teaching each other how to be accountable for our own actions, how to look at things in a different perspective. Even with these protests, when it comes to police brutality, think about what they do first. Think about what they do first. The first thing they do is start looting. I take that back. It's not the first thing they do. They do start marching first, but that marching turns into looting. Now, the protest part and the marching part, that's fine. But at the same time, why are we looting? Why are we destroying businesses? Especially businesses in our own neighborhood. See, that's what makes us look bad. See, we have to look at the bigger picture. What is making us look bad? That's crazy. No, he was. No, you know what? He was right. He was right in a sense, but he misinterpreted. It's not about destroying the black family. It's about making the black family stronger by using the community, or the old saying, a village, to help raise those kids. So that's what that means. So no, he wasn't right. He wasn't right at all. The words was there, but he misinterpreted the words. And I knew that. Yeah, Black Lives Matter now. The organization itself is so spread out. It going in so many different directions that honestly, it's somewhat gone rogue now. It's not what it was intended to be. So it's to the point where we have to understand one thing, though. We have to look at ourselves. We all need to go home, look in the mirror at ourselves, and ask ourselves, what can we do to make things better? What can we do to change our own environment? Because it's up to every individual to make that change. But the problem is, no one want to make that change. No one want to see it from the point of view as in we're harming ourselves, we're destroying ourselves. You know why? Because we always got to put the blame on someone else. Always got to put the blame somewhere else. It's like a child. A child does something. First thing that child does is put the blame on someone else. And that's the whole thing about it. We need to stop that. We need to stop it. And it's sad that we have grown individuals who will not take responsibility for their own actions. And that's part of the problem. Part of the problem is this older generation, people my age, are still doing the same thing they did when they was younger. They still trying to blame someone else for their issues. And that goes downhill. You're a grandparent now. You taught your kids to blame someone else. They're going to teach their kids to blame someone else. And then they're going to teach their kids to blame someone else. And we need to stop that cycle. Stop blaming everybody for our issues. Take responsibility for your own actions. We need to stop that. Need to stop it completely. If you know you're living a life that's not fit for you, you need to get off your behind and get to work. If you know you're in the streets living dirty, you need to look at yourself and say, look, how can I clean my act up? And to be honest with you, there are plenty of states now who have all kind of programs to help people, convicted felons, get jobs. Because when I was growing up, that was something I always heard. I can't get a job because I'm a convicted felon. I can't do this because I'm a convicted felon. I can't do that because I'm a convicted felon. Do you realize how many states now do not allow people to use that against you now? But we still use that same excuse. Right, the tit for tat behavior. Yeah, it's exhausting. We don't know how to forgive. We don't know how to forget. We don't know how to move on. We don't. You know, one thing about me living up north now, and I like to, I'm from Georgia, and living up north, living in Mass, is totally different than living in Georgia. Totally different. And the reason why it's totally different, because Mass is one of those states that do not hold anything against you after a period of time. After a period of time, if you want an entry-level position job, your employer cannot go back and look at your record. Because Mass wants you to be successful. Mass wants you to go out and get a job. Mass wants you to do good by your people and by yourself. Now in Georgia, that's a little different. They don't have those same laws in Georgia. They don't have those same rules in Georgia. But you know what you can do if you're in Georgia though? You still can get a job. It might not be the best job, but you still can get a job. And that's another thing we don't want to do. We don't want to start at the bottom. We don't want to work our way up. You know, people talk about McDonald's and Burger King and all this crazy stuff and all this stuff. Yeah, those jobs are low-paying jobs, true enough. But it's a start. It's a way you can build yourself up. We need to get away from all this crap about the jobs you will not take. Think about taking a job, period. Starting somewhere. Building yourself a resume. Yeah, you might have McDonald's on that resume. But it's a start. It's a job. The whole purpose is to build a foundation to build off of. And that's the whole thing about it. No one want to really build that foundation. Right, though, there's plenty of programs now. There's plenty of programs now that help felons get jobs now. And like I said, they're not the best jobs in the world, but there are jobs. There are jobs. And that's something that we have to understand. You have to start somewhere. You got to realize one thing. The harder you work for that position, the better you're going to feel down the road because you know you earned that. No one gave it to you. And then when you earn it and you work hard and you earn it, you cherish it more. And you don't want to lose it because you know you worked hard to get to that position. But we don't want to do that. We want to take the easy way out. We rather go home and sit on the street corner and try to earn easy money and destroy our neighborhoods. But see, we don't hold ourselves accountable for those things. For those guys who sits on the street corner and destroying our neighborhoods. We don't hold those guys accountable. We look up to them. They the thugs on the corner. They the OGs on the corner. They're the ones that we look up to. Those are ones that inspire the young kids to grow up to be thugs and carry guns and shoot up the neighborhoods and shoot up the homes and kill little kids on the streets. That's what we are doing. And that's why I said Black Lives Matter do not go far enough. Because they stop. They stop when it comes to police brutality. That's where they stop at. They don't go past that point. They don't really get into the neighborhoods. They don't do that. And it's very sad. It's very sad that we don't take our own lives serious. Black Lives Matter, but do we really take our own Black lives serious? Because if we did, we wouldn't have so many killings in the Black neighborhoods. We would not have so much death in the communities. We don't understand that whole concept. We don't. Now, I thank T Black for this right here. I really thank T Black for this. T Black woke me up in a sense. T Black had me looking at myself crazy. And as a 51-year-old man, and T is about my age, but he put knowledge in my head. And that's what we all need to do. We all need to realize there's someone out there trying to put some knowledge in your head. No matter how old you are, how young you are, there's always someone trying to put some knowledge in your head to make you understand that you're part of the problem. And I was part of the problem. Now, this is a YouTube thing. But just imagine if we can go out into the communities and teach someone that they're a part of the problem and they can change the situation in their life if they just think a little bit and listen a little bit. Just understand that. We all are capable of changing. We all are capable of doing better. But we got to want to do better. We got to want to take on a responsibility as a man or a woman and do what we're responsible to, what we need to do to take care of our families and the people around us. The little kids in the streets who are running around in the streets, we need to take care of those little kids. Keep those kids safe because those kids' lives matter. They matter. But some days I don't think they do matter because we don't care. We don't care. Kids running around the neighborhoods, we out there shooting the neighborhood up. We don't care about those kids. But I guarantee you, if a white man killed one of those kids, we'll be marching in the streets. We'll be marching in the streets for weeks on weeks if a white man killed one of those kids. But when we do it, sometimes, no, don't get me wrong, I have seen them march in the streets when a kid got killed. But on average, we don't do anything. We cry, we weep, and we move on. And we do it again and again and again and again. Just understand that. Black Lives Matter, right? Right? Black Lives Matter, right? Just understand what that means. That means that everybody in the city who's running around here with these guns, they're killing the little black man. That black man life matters, no matter who takes it. No matter who takes it. A white man takes it or a black man takes it. That life should matter. It shouldn't matter no more or no less if a white man takes it. But see, when we get into this Black Lives Matter situation, it matters more if a white man takes it. Do that make sense? Just understand the whole thing. See, man, I try, man. Like I said, it's hard, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard. It's hard some days. But like I said, people like you made me understand I need to hold myself accountable. I need to do the right thing and not the wrong thing. I need to set the example. I'm 51 years old. I should be out here setting the example. I should not be on YouTube acting an ass. I shouldn't be. I really shouldn't be. I'm too old for this. 51 years old. I shouldn't be acting an ass on YouTube. I got a grandchild. And that's the whole thing about it. You made me think. You made me realize I don't want to be a 60-year-old man on YouTube doing this crazy crap, going against the norm. It's crazy. And I challenge everybody to understand that we all can do better. Yes, you don't have to be boring. You don't have to come here and be bored. Nah, have fun. Do the shits and giggles thing. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. But be responsible for your actions, though. Just understand, everything is not a game. Everything is not funny. We all come here for enjoyment. We all come here for entertainment. Yes, we can entertain one another, but we don't have to go to a certain extreme to do it. And I think that's where it's lost at right there, because we think we have to do certain things on YouTube just to get a laugh. And you don't have to do that. You can come on YouTube and have an adult conversation. You can come on and laugh and giggle and have a good time, have a funny, good time without all the craziness, without all the beefing every day. That's something that we have to come together as people and understand that. We are all adults. We all want to have a good time. Why can't we have a mixture? Why can't we have a mixture of shits and giggles and some serious topics without the fuck shit in between? Just understand that. We all can do better. We all can. Every last one of us can do better. And I thank Steve for bringing this topic up yesterday with Black Lives Matter. I salute Steve for this. Even though Steve might be trolling a little bit, but that's fine. Because I can take that type of trolling. And I appreciate Steve for bringing this topic up. Because I was going to talk about something else, which I'm going to talk about that on another day with Deion Sanders. But I thought I just want to talk about this right here first, because I really think that we need to look at Black Lives Matter as a whole unit. As a whole unit. And we need to get into our community and understand that all this violence that's killing these young people, we need to stop that. We need to stop that. No one else but us. Us black people need to stop the violence in our own community. Killing the babies. Killing the youth. The young men and young women who are dying left and right in our communities. We need to stop that. No one else, not Joe Biden, not Donald Trump, not the senators, not the congressmen, but us as a community, we need to stop it. We need to stop it. Let me give you a prime example of how we are. Now, everybody brings up this 1994 crime bill, right? See, the thing about that is, if we police our own communities, we won't need laws like that. See, when y'all sit back and y'all blame Joe Biden for that 1994 crime bill, do you realize one thing? We was the reason why that crime bill came into existence. Because we refuse to stop the violence in our community. See, if we go in our communities and police our own communities, we won't need that 1994 crime bill. We won't need to be building private prisons and prisons as a whole. We won't need to have these sentences where you're doing 80% to 90% of your time. If we went in and policed our own neighborhoods. See, that's the accountability thing again. But see, once the government gets involved, we want to get upset. We want to talk about racism. We want to talk about everything about what caused that issue. See, that's the problem. See, we don't see the cause of that bill. We just see that bill. See, a lot of y'all forgot about what was going on in the 80s and the early 90s. Y'all forgot how DC was out of control, how New York was out of control, how Atlanta was out of control, how Houston was out of control, how Chicago was out of control. See, y'all forgot all about that. Y'all forgot about all those lives in those cities that was being wiped out on a daily basis. Y'all forgot about that. But that's the reason why that 1994 crime bill came into play. Because they were killing black people. Black people was killing black people left and right. Look up DC back in the 80s. Just look up DC back in the 80s. And you tell me, would you have complained about the crime bill in 1994 if you lived in DC? Just go back and look at DC. Look it up. Would you really care about those guys going to prison for the rest of their lives with all that violence in the inner city? See, we don't think about that. We just look at the bill. Oh, that was a racist bill. We will lock away all these criminals for the rest of their lives. We destroyed the black family. No, the black family was destroyed long before that. The black family was being destroyed when those guys was in the streets killing mothers and fathers and kids. That's what destroyed the black family. But see, we don't want to see it like that, though, because we don't want to take the blame for that. We don't want to take the blame for that. We don't want to take the blame for selling crack to our own people, even though we might say the white man put it in our community, but we don't want to take the blame for us selling it to ourselves. We blame it on the white man, though. Just understand that. Just understand that whole concept. All boils down to accountability. Black lives don't matter until other people is doing it to us. That's the only time it matters. But as long as we're doing it to ourselves, we don't care. We don't have a clue. And I know some of y'all might disagree with me. That's fine. That's fine. You know what the drug thing is. Like they said the white man brought it to the community. I don't know who brought it, to be honest with you. But what I do know, that we took it and we ran with it and we destroyed our community. We destroyed our community. I do know that much. Now, I can't tell you who brought it. I can tell you who they said brought it. But I can't tell you for sure who brought it. But I can tell you one thing for sure that I do know. It destroyed our community. It destroyed it. It really did. Well, I think I preached enough tonight. So I'm gonna end it now. And I thank everybody who came through. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm gonna spend some time over here. I really am. I'm gonna spend some time over here. And tomorrow, I'm gonna do the Deion Sanders thing tomorrow, because Deion, what he said, it kind of piggybacks off this right here. And I want y'all to listen to that tomorrow, what he was saying, because he made a lot of sense. He made a lot of sense yesterday. Well, it's been about 4 days ago now. But if y'all just look on YouTube, put Deion Sanders in there, and y'all can hear for yourself why you get tomorrow. But it made a lot of sense, though. And Lurker, I will be over there this weekend when you have your show, and we can talk about it even more on your show. I know you said you're going to do a show this weekend, too, so most definitely going to be over there and support you. So it's all good. But like I said, thank everybody for coming through. Lurker, T Black, Mark, Jeff, Miss Angie, who else I missed? And everybody else who I missed, thank y'all for coming by. Like I said, we're going to try to build over here, try to do some things over here, and we're going to try to, set some things straight. But like I said, we're not going to just do some serious topic. We're going to have some good times too. Because I know all serious stuff is no fun all the time. We're going to have some fun also. So we're going to have fun. So y'all just stay tuned. I'm going to come at you. I'm coming at you. So y'all have a good night. Until tomorrow, bless you all. And like I said, key word is accountability. Accountability is the key word. So y'all have a good night.